Good morning everyone, and welcome to the back garden yard. This morning we're looking at these tomato suckers that I threw down in some rainwater 10 days ago so they would root out, and now it's time to plant them. We're preparing for the July garden, and so I wanted to plant some seeds, and I also wanted to have some tomatoes to transplant for a second crop. And as you see, they have rooted out pretty good. Two of the three are pretty good anyway, and one of them I'm going to go ahead and plant anyway with its small little roots. So we're going to look at the seeds right quick, see how they did. And what we've got, let's move the tomatoes, is these are three nice cucumber plants. And then I put squash crookneck here, squash straight neck here, and then these last four were zucchini squash, and I didn't get anything for that one. I got 1.5 for this one, and I've gotten a couple there. So I've got to decide what I want to do about those. I left them intentionally low in dirt so that I could fill them up as they came up like this. Now I'll fill them up very to the top of the bottom of these leaves to give them support. I'm going to put them in the greenhouse, and I'm going to try to keep them for another week or two because my old plants are still producing. So anyway, I want to get them as big as I can in the greenhouse before I put them out, because of course in July the bugs are going to be coming immediately. So anyway, this cucumber, and this is the one where I accidentally planted some squash. I think I see 2 squash here with that cucumber, so I've got to try to do something with that. And we'll look over here. This is my mixture that I made on that video also of transplanting. It's got compost, it's got the processed cow manure I buy at Lowe's, and it's also got soil from the garden, and it's got regular potting soil that I that I buy in the bag. So that's the mixture. But in the compost, obviously I had left some pumpkin seeds, and guess what, they went all the way through the compost and they came up. Well, I don't need these plants. I've got pumpkins. You're going to see a video soon about pumpkins that you just won't believe. So anyway, these came up. I'm going to throw them out. And what the lesson learned here is, if you pull weeds and the weeds have seeds and you throw them in your compost, they may very well survive, and then you're going to be putting weeds in your garden when you plant. So don't throw weeds in your compost that have seeds. It's all right to compost weeds that aren't seeding, but once they start seeding, throw them out in the yard or in an area. This is what I do. I put them right out here, and I'll run over them with a lawnmower, because this is the weedy area, and it's just a natural area under the muscadines and the pear tree. So anyway, with that said, I'm going to mount the camera again, and as I do things, I will turn it back on and show you. So what I'm doing first is I'm going to fill this up about 1/3 of the way full. And I'm going to pull one of these tomato plants out. I'm going to be careful so I don't break the roots of the ones that I'm not messing with. I think I'll take them all up. There you go. And this little one does have some roots, so I'm going to put him back in, do him last. I'm going to get this one with the biggest roots first. And I'm going to sit it right in the middle of this container, and then I'm going to completely fill the container with soil. I'm getting soil on the leaves, and that's not good, but we'll wash that off. And you want to immediately, and I can't stress that more, you want to immediately water it. And as we water it, we'll rinse these leaves off. This is rainwater I collected. If you don't have rainwater, you should let the regular water out of the hose. If you've got chlorinated water, you should let that sit overnight before you use it. Okay, so that's all we're going to do to that right now. I'll water it again after a while, and it is transplanted. And I'm going to do the other two, but it's the same way, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the camera off. So the job is finished. Here are my 3 new tomato plants. They're going to sit in the greenhouse now, because in the greenhouse, that way I can control the water, and I can hopefully close the door at night and keep the bugs out as best as possible, and that way I can inspect them easily and see the bugs, get the bugs off of them. And now we're going to take a look at the squash and cucumbers and zucchini and see what we want to do with those. So I'll be right back. Okay, I've decided what I'm going to do, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this crookneck squash out, and we're going to toss it aside. I'm going to take this regular squash out, and I could probably save that, but I'll toss it aside. And then I'm going to take these 2 out, and I'll toss them aside. Actually, I'm going to put them in here to keep them alive. I might actually plant them somewhere. They've got such nice roots, and I picked a good time to yank them out of the dirt. Okay, then I'm going to take this cucumber plant now that's all by himself, and this is why I left the pot so low. I'm going to fill this up and give it good support on the stem. And he's going into the greenhouse. Okay, a little more dirt. All right. All right, he should be able to grow for a few more days like that. And then I'm going to take this one out because he's weak. He's got practically no roots, and we'll just toss that one. So now I've got 2 more that I'm going to put the dirt in, but I'm not going to show you doing that. And then these 3 look like they might be separatable, so I'm going to try to separate these, and that's going to leave me with 5 cucumber plants, which is plenty. Excuse me, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not sure they'll all make it, but it's okay. So now I've got 2 crook necks that I'm going to fill up. I've got, these are the regular squash here, and I don't think I can separate that one. It's too close. And then this is zucchini. I can separate these 2 zucchini because they're pretty far apart. And I'm going to take this one out because he came up nice and weak. Practically no root at all. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, and I'll be back for an ending when I get this done. Okay, so now I'm going to transplant the cucumbers, where there was 3 nice ones in here, and I will show you how I do that. And this is tricky. If I break one, I break one. So first you just turn it upside down, And you can see the roots are already getting all the way to the bottom and out the side. So this is the one I want to leave in the original container. And these other two I'm going to try to take out and separate. So what you're going to do is kind of gently pull on this soil. And we're going to grab that one and throw it in there like that. We're going to grab this one. And these are the roots from the original one. And throw it in there like that. And then we are going to put this right back in the pot. And fill it up with soil and support it. It may never know anything happened. Let me move these are the ones that I pulled out by the roots and decided to try to save. We'll see how that works. So and that's it. I'm gonna water them, and then I'm gonna go ahead and try to separate this one and this one the same way, and then I'll be back at the end. Okay, so now the job is completed. I left the cucumbers, the squash and zucchini in the greenhouse, and I'm gonna leave the tomatoes out here in the shade along with those that I yanked up, the squash that I yanked up by the roots, and give them a couple of days to adjust to the shock of being transplanted without being exposed to the harsh Georgia summer heat. So anyway, let's go take a look at the greenhouse right quick. Okay, so here's the greenhouse, and something kind of interesting is this cherry tomato plant that has sprouted in the greenhouse down through the floor tiles, which are just pavers. Anyway, it came up, and I'm just kind of moving it out of the way to walk in here. But anyway, what we came to see were the transplanted. These are the cucumbers. These are the crook neck squash. These are the straight neck squash. And then back here are the zucchini plants. There's 4 of them. And they've all survived the transplanting very nice. And so it looks like they're going to be just fine. And with that, we're going to end the video. If you like content like that, please like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video.